Wow, the startups seem ready. I hope you are too. Tonight, we are celebrating the graduation of the batch 8 in Switzerland in the incubation batch category. It's my great pleasure to welcome you tonight. My name is Mark. The slides are not working. Wow. Tech. My name is Mark Klauser, and I'm the head of F10 in Switzerland as well as Europe. Dear partners, dear startups, dear founders, dear investors, dear friends of F10, welcome. We have a packed program for you tonight, and I would like to just run you quickly through it. We'll start with a quick welcome of Roy Tavor. Then we have Carmen Walker-Spe here, and myself. I will do a quick introduction, also talk about F10 a little bit, give you an update where we stand. A lot has happened in the last few months. Then we'll dive into the most important part. We'll start with the startup pitches number 1, have a short break, and then have a panel where we dive into the topic of open wealth, very important for the finance area in Switzerland, and then continue with some more pitches before obviously we'll go into the networking and apro, where everyone will be welcome to network. I also want to welcome everyone online who is joining us from all over the world. Thanks for making it. With this, I would like to have Roy Tavor on stage. He has just been announced recently Managing Director of the Google Cloud business for Switzerland and Europe. Thanks a lot for hosting us. Stage is yours.
Danke. Thank you. Let me see if this works. Also, zuerst mal grüezi miteinander. Herzlich willkommen, Frau Regierungsrätin. Schön sind Sie da. Es ist eine Ehre, es ist wichtig und wir freuen uns, dass Sie zusammen mit dem F10 heute da sind. Now we will switch to English. Welcome. It is a pleasure. I have followed F10 for many, many years. This is extremely relevant what this organization is doing for the Swiss and the larger startup ecosystem. So it's wonderful to be hosting F10, all of you tonight, and a warm welcome to Google and Google Cloud. My name is Roy. I am the head of Google Cloud in Switzerland and Austria, and I did run a startup previously also, even though I'm accustomed to wear ties. Not tonight, not because I still run a startup, because I just came from a trip abroad. I didn't have time to shave or change, so I do apologize for that. But again, it's wonderful to have you, and I just want to see, show of hands, where the startups? Okay, so I want to address you. I know how hard it is. I know how committed you are. I know of all the sleepless nights that you have, and if you don't have them yet, they will come. So I do encourage you to really be steadfast. There's nobody out there, all the VCs, all the angels, even your customers, nobody is going to be that determined like yourselves to make it happen. So I congratulate you all for living the dream and making it happen. I want to take a few seconds or minutes to talk a little bit about our DNA. And our DNA is all about innovation. And when we talk about innovation at Google and Google Cloud, everything we do has to move the needle. And the way we demonstrate that to the market is through the B2C products that we have. You see them on the slide. Probably one product at least is familiar to some of you. Those are 9 products which are used on a daily basis by 1 billion people. The reason I'm showing this to you is because actually, I just realized, where's the clicker? Because the slides have been moving. Thank you. Super is magic, yes. But I want to go back. Here we go. The reason I show you this is not to brag about how good our products are. It is to talk about what we now do with Google Cloud. Google Cloud empowers everything we do when it comes to startup, digital native, corporate, or enterprise innovation. So the greatness that we do have in this company is provided also to you as our partners. And what is even more important when we talk about innovation is how we actually achieve this innovation. And it's through our values. And this was one of the reasons I joined Google Cloud, because it's all about the 3 respects. Respect the user, respect the opportunity, and respect each other. And if there's one commitment that I would like all of you to take away from when we talk about Google Cloud, it is that no matter how big or small your firm is, we are here for you, we're committed to serve, and we want to support you on this journey. This is a personal feeling for me, because I know, having had my own startup for 3 years, how difficult it can be sometimes to get people's ear. So my phone number is 0795. I'm kidding. Yeah, you'll find me on LinkedIn. If you need anything, please reach out. We have a team here of lots of people who are willing to help. And this is really, really important. We cannot do it without all of the startups here. So again, congratulations. Thank you for being here. And I would just say, let's go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you so much. Appreciate the words. We obviously have a hoodie for you. Oh. So you need to dress, or can dress, with the rocket.
No, I have to say, I know Mark. Sorry, I know Mark for many years, so he knew to bring an extra large. Thank you.
It's good, sorry. Thanks a lot, Roy. Obviously, for those who don't know, Roy also had his own startup. He was CEO and almost took 4 years running his startup. Thanks a lot for the kind words, and it's a great pleasure to be here. Just to make sure, for whom is it the first time in this theater? Hands up. Yes, that's what we were hoping for. Thanks, Roy. Now, moving on, very exciting. Commonwealth Cusbet, please come on stage slowly. For those who don't know Commonwealth Cusbet, I think in Zurich, obviously, no big introduction is needed. For those online across the ocean, maybe somewhere in the globe, Commonwealth Cusbet has been appointed in the Government Council of the Canton of Zurich already 8 years back, where she is since then heading the Department of Economic Affairs, and has always been very close to also making sure it's a good place to work, that Zurich is on the map globally, or at least across Switzerland, I think globally. Thank you very much for being here. Stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. First, of course, grüezi miteinander. I hope you can do it, as I can do it, all of yours. On behalf of the government of the Canton of Zurich, I'm really delighted to welcome you to the demo day of F10 here at Google at the Europa Allee, and I thank very much Mark Hauser and his team for the kind innovation. I'm really pleased to see how dynamic the FinTech ecosystem has been developing in Switzerland, and especially in in the Zurich region. The latest figures show that there are more than 360 FinTech startups in Switzerland. Out of these 360 FinTech startups, more than a third is based in the Canton of Zurich. If we include, ladies and gentlemen, our neighboring cantons, Zug and the Canton Schwyz, the number reveal that over 70% of all FinTech startups are located in the greater Zurich area, where I'm the president too. Yes, and I'm proud of that. since its launch in 2015, F10 has been promoting the FinTech ecosystem substantially with their incubation and acceleration programs, one of which we celebrate, of course, today. The numbers, ladies and gentlemen, greatly impress me. In the past 7 years, more than 230 startups were incubated and accelerated, and more than 2,000 jobs were created. More than 2,000 jobs here were created. That's great, I think. Yes. And these are entirely new jobs. New jobs. Nobody has loosened a job. They are new jobs. That's good. And that's what a head of the Department of Economic Affairs truly likes. With the recent fundraising and the management buyout, F10 is set to become the financial industry's innovation leader, a leader. Since the beginning in 2015, F10 has been closely cooperating with the Division of Business and Economic Development in the Office for Economy and Labor, which is part of my department. And I'm very pleased to announce that our Division of Business and Economic Development is going to launch the FinTech layer on our new internet platform, and it's called Innovation.Zurich in autumn this year. We will launch that. This platform aims to provide guidance to contributors and stakeholders in the innovation ecosystem. It increases their visibility and promotes networking among them. I therefore appeal to all FinTech startups, they are here in the canton of Zurich or wherever in the world, to register via the Innovation.Zurich platform. But let's get back to the FinTech startups we applaud today. Today we celebrate the 80th batch of the Incubation Program. 14 startups from 6 different countries attended the program. 9 are from Switzerland, and several among them are from Zurich. In the course of the last 5 months, these startups have worked intensively to validate their ideas, worked on go-to-market strategies, and learned how to pitch, and received trainings by mentors. The startups in the FinTech and InsurTech field cover exciting solutions for topics ranging from the Metaverse to sustainability or wealth management. I'm curious, really curious, to hear more about them tonight. Now I would like to congratulate the F10 teams on their great work and the 14 startups on successfully completing the program. All the best and lots of success I wish you in advancing your really good business ideas. I really wish you a wonderful and I wish you an interesting evening today. Thank you for your jobs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Obviously, also we thought of a hoodie.
Thank you.
I don't know how often the public occasions would allow to wear it, but the more the merrier.
I have also a private life.
I didn't know that still exists. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you very much. For those who don't know, Carmen Walker-Sperr already has announced she will also run for the next 4 years in February 2023. So all the best, kind wishes from F10 and our side. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Well, I think a lot already has been said, and actually my introduction to F10 has already been done, and better than maybe I can do it. So I will cut it a little bit short. Our vision as F10 is really to be the leading global innovation ecosystem for the financial industry. We are achieving this by bringing together corporate partners, big companies in the finance industry, in the insurance industry, with the startups, obviously. And we believe in open innovation. That means really collaborating together on eye level and working together on the future of the finance industry. We are present currently in 3 countries. Switzerland, obviously, Singapore, Spain, and now just newly announced also we are going to the Nordics, another S, so the 4S. Pretty easy to remember. The ecosystem has been mentioned, right? It's really everything is happening in the ecosystem with everyone who is participating and joining tonight. The 3 main areas are corporates, startup, and investors, but even maybe more important are all the people around, from the mentors, the supporters, the friends, and the family of F10. It's really again and again humbling how much support we get as a team. The startup support that we are delivering is in 2 maturity stages. What we are seeing today is the earlier stage, where we have the incubation program. So the startups tonight you will see are a little bit earlier in their journey, most of them. And then we also have the acceleration program that is for companies that already have worked with big companies that already are a little bit longer in the market. It has been mentioned, the incubation program is a 5-month program with intense masterclasses, a lot of interaction with mentors, with investors, and a lot we will see tonight as well. The acceleration program is more working together on a challenge that is key to our corporate partners and making sure a proof of concept is developed and key milestones are reached. The history of F10 has already been summarized very nicely by Carmen Walker-Spe, but you can see that a lot has happened also recently. We have been already touching on the recent funding round as well as the management buyout of F10, and now we are ready to really grow and scale more globally. Thanks a lot for being part of that journey. Oh yeah. Some numbers have already been mentioned. Nonetheless, I would like to repeat. Like normally in a standard year, we look at over 2,500 applications, startups globally that are then potentially coming through the programs. Since 2015, this means over 11,000 startups have been somehow through our hands. Also, we have the mentioned 230 startups that were in programs in the end, already a huge number. Then over 280 million of funding has been raised by those startups. And just recently, you might have seen in the news, Gökçe was able to raise 80 million, including investors like Sequoia. I think we need to get those cheer now signs up. Just joking, working. So the program, what brought us here tonight is really the program here. And you can see the different stages from starting in February 14th. Yes, on Valentine's Day, we had all the startups joining in F10 in Zurich, flying from everywhere. A lot of dedication already on day 1. Thanks for that. And then the 5 masterclasses that went through the last months that really bring us here tonight on the demo day, where we'll see everything that we have achieved. Is it working? Oh, it's double slide. Good. As mentioned before, couldn't be doing this without the mentors. These are the 28 mentors that have supported the startups for this batch. Thanks a lot. Here, just a few impressions of the last few already laughter, of the last few months. And as you can see, our goal really is to create an opportunity to be part of a class again, right? It's the only opportunity, I think, after graduating, all the last graduation, whatever level it has been, but to be really part of a class. This is also why we always have less than 28 or less than 30, this time 28 people actually joining this program. And what we are really focusing on is to bring them together so they have somebody on the journey, which is, as we have heard also by Roy, it's not an easy journey. It's a lot of up and downs, and sometimes the closer people around yourselves will not understand what you're going through, but now you have somebody to call, somebody you can rely on, and hopefully will stay a friend forever. Now, finally, we'll get into the pitching, and for this I would like to have Melly on stage.
Hi, I'm Melly. We are super close to the pitches, so I make it not long. We are framed. We know what is going on. We have our, my name is Melly. I'm the startup success lead, or the startup coach, whatever you want to call it. I work closely with these teams. I know they are super persistent. They gave everything to prepare to come to this evening and to perform. And as told before, we are super international. And the next startup is coming from Netherlands. It's a blockchain startup, Alexandru from UK. Or both. It's here. Oh, sorry.
Hi, everybody. Grüezi miteinander. Did I say that right? I didn't shave either, but that was on purpose. So many people here, it's fun. So, as Melly already said, my name is Alexandru. I'm co-founder and CEO of UK. First things first, crypto is not dead. On the contrary, blockchain is shaping our lives as we speak, and will continue doing so in the future. Actually, right now might be the best time to truly monitor the market, and trust me, you'll not be the only ones. A large majority of retail investors has already incorporated crypto into their private portfolios. However, they do not know how to truly leverage the power of their private portfolios and to send their crypto to work to earn additional returns from 10% and upwards. To understand how that is possible, we have to talk about DeFi. DeFi stands for decentralized finance and is a collective term for financial services offered on public blockchains. So we're talking about derivatives, insurance, market making, lending, and they're mimicking their traditional financial counterparts, although at a fraction of the traditional costs. However, the problem with this space is it's a space built by techies for techies. And the usability of that space, quite frankly, is not good. So I'm talking about tech hurdles like sending your money to the wrong wallet address and losing all of it. Using the wrong chain or the wrong wallet provider and losing all of it. Or simply using the wrong cryptocurrency and losing all of it. So what Yuki does is we take the complexity out of the DeFi space. And so our users will not have to navigate a jungle of thousands of cryptocurrencies, hundreds of platforms and wallet providers and decentralized exchanges. What we offer is one mobile app, a bank account, a PayPal account, or a credit card to link to, and 30 best-in-class DeFi products. We're grabbing our users by their hands, educating them along the way, so they feel comfortable investing into their private crypto portfolio in the future. As we speak, we are building our MVP with the help and input from our waiting list, which is about 20,000 signups strong. And we're also using input from one of Europe's largest crypto exchanges, who we are partnering up with, and offering Yuki as a white label solution to. We're a co-founding team of two highly ambitious co-founders with expertise in private wealth management and blockchain. We're simply bringing DeFi to the masses. So please make sure and go to yuki.app right now and sign up for our waiting list. And don't worry of being just one in 20,000. We actually love each and every one of our users at Yuki. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexandru. Our next startup is coming from Switzerland. It's a blockchain startup for alternative investments, Aurelio from Splint Invest.
Hey, hello, good afternoon. My name is Aurelio, and I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Splint Invest. Splint Invest is the easiest way to invest your money in alternative assets. Within our app, we offer retail investors the possibility to invest in physical assets, like wine, whiskey, watches, or cars. The beauty of our solution is that we are offering fractional investing. Like this, everybody can participate and start investing with only €50. But let me quickly walk you through an example. So in this specific case, we have collaborated with our partner, Brepburn Whiskey. They are specialized in whiskey cask investments. They have proposed to us to invest in a cask of the Scottish distillery Blue Hill. What we have done as Splint Invest is we have validated the investment case, which means we have checked the purchasing price of the cask with external market data, we have checked the existence of it, and of course some general facts like storage and insurance. Oh, sorry, I missed one point, a very important one. Together with Brepburn, we have defined the investment horizon for this specific cask to 8 to 10 years. So this is the holding period of the cask. Now, as the next step, we determine the total asset value, which is going to be displayed in the app, as you can see. The total asset value of the asset consists of mainly 3 elements, which is the purchasing price of the cask, the total cost for insurance and storage over the whole investment horizon, and our fee, which is usually between 8 and 10% of the purchasing price of the cask. In this specific case, leading to a bit more than €1,200 of revenue for us. Now, let's travel to the future. 8 years later, let's assume the value of the cask has developed in accordance to our assumptions, and we were able to sell it at an auction for €42,000. This is the point where we are going to charge our exit fee, which is 2% and leading to additional €800 of revenue. This is also the point when our users, the retail investors, are exiting the investment and realizing that they just made a return on investment of over 10% per year over the last 8 years. So not our assets are performing. We as a company are doing great as well. Over the last 12 months, we were able to create significant traction. We have sold 46 investment opportunities within our app, and there are more than 4,000 registered users ready to invest their money. As you can see, the numbers are growing, especially since March. Why? Because we figured out how to acquire new users using digital channels. Now, we are ready to scale. This is why we are going to raise some money during our seed round, concretely 2.5 million. We are going to use the money to acquire new users. So in case you're interested in participating or even leading the round, scan the code, get in touch with us, and I'm more than happy to talk to you about Splint. Thanks.
Thank you, Aurelio. Our next startup is from the insurance tech area, Roberto from Terminos.
Hello, everyone. I'm Roberto, the founder and CEO of Terminos, a platform for insurance companies. Do you know that insurance companies have to have a terms and conditions document for every product that they sell? The creation of these documents is a really lengthy process. It could take between 1 to 4 months just to create it. Also, the translation and localization of these documents is really costly. Launching a product in Europe could cost more than $200,000. And also, the customer service and claims process is a really labor-intensive process and often results in poor customer service. So Terminos is a platform where insurance companies can create these documents and use them to automate customer service and claims. So insurance companies can increase the speed to market and create these documents in just 1 day instead of the 4 months. They can reduce their legal and translation costs up to 90%, and they can automate up to 50% of all their customer interactions. So how do we do this? We take the insurance company information and put it on our platform, so we create models. So whenever the insurance company wants to create a document, they can use these models and just create the documents in just 1 day. We also take these modules and translate them, so whenever the insurance company creates the document for a product, they actually can output the same document in different languages, and it's in total compliance. And finally, we take these modules and convert it into data, so we can automate the customer service and claims through a chatbot. So imagine whenever you ask your insurance company a question or you want to make a claim, the insurance company will answer you in 1 day or in minutes instead of 5 or 6 days like today. In terms of traction, we already have our MVP ready, and we have 2 insurance companies using our product. We are talking to more than 20 insurance companies at the moment, and there's more than 7,000 insurance companies in Europe that could use our product. The founding team is me, with more than 10 years of experience in the FinTech and insurance industry, and Matan with more than 8 years in software development. So if you want to learn more about us or the product, please visit us at terminus.io or at the end of the event. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Roberto. Our next startup is also a blockchain startup with his Italian temperament, Francesco from Stovers.
Hi everyone, nice to be here. Let's start. Hi everyone, I'm Francesco. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Stovers. At Stovers, we make crowdfunding, fundraising, and equity management simple. We have developed a platform to enable a startup to go throughout the whole journey, from early stage till exit. It all starts with the DLT, with the tokenization of the shares on a DLT as a fundraising. We actually have understood how hard it is for our early stage startups to actually fundraise. So we decided to do something about it. That's why with our digital shares, you can simply go onto our platform and become one of our shareholders. So I invite you to do it actually. On our platform, we have 100+ investors registered, and we have 4 startups who are already looking to fundraise on Stovers. Fast forward, now you have a startup that has raised money, and you have a lot of investors. So the question is now, how do you manage all these investors? It's very complicated and hassling. With our solution, we actually enables you to have a digital shareholder registry, which will take away all this hassling for you. We are partnering with SIX. We are partnering with SIX for actually offering a digital shareholder registry to service. Moving forward, you now have the shareholders organized. You have the money. So what are we missing? Of course, we need to hire some employees. So we go out, we scout for this great talent, and then we realize, oh, I cannot afford to pay them as much as their previous corporate job. So how do I motivate them to actually join my startup and my dream? That's where our solution comes handy one more time, with employee stock option plan. With that, we provide on our platform a simple tool to actually keep track of your options, and actually your employee will be able to redeem it at any time with your digital shares. We have already a working MVP that we are testing in the next couple of weeks with a very renowned law firm in Zurich. I actually want to announce that we have tokenized our shares, and you can actually, I invite you to go onto our website, stovers.io, and actually become one of our shareholders. You can simply fill up the form as you're gonna see there, and you're gonna be asked to whether pay in crypto or fiat, and we will send you our digital shares on your digital wallet. We are actually fundraising, so we need to, for executing and building the team and executing our roadmap. To conclude, if you want to build the future of finance, please reach out and join us for the biggest revolution in crowdfunding and equity management. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Francesco. Our next gentleman from the UK, a startup, a banking platform, Miles from Topaz.
Good evening. So we are a wealth tech firm, and we're transforming the client experience. So 20 million high net worth individuals in the world, and that number is growing fast. And we're also seeing this shift from an older to a younger generation. Now, their problems are really complex, these wealthy individuals, and they need the help of professional advisors in tax, wealth, could be property management, yacht management, whatever. And these relationships are increasingly virtual. But the digital channels to enable this are pretty much broken. Really bad portals, loads of PDFs, loads of passwords, and just so much email. So the reason, when this happens, for these people, for these reasons, digital wealth, I think we can fairly say, is pretty much not working. And because it's not working, this is the sort of thing we see. So this was recently, and it's pretty stark, right? If the digital channels aren't there, then we're no longer going to be in business. But today, there's no obvious path to solve the problem. Buying really doesn't work because there's no one-size-fits-all for this, right? It's such a specialized area. And we all know what the huge mountain to climb there is if you're going to build your own custom solution. So the place is broken, it's ripe for a reset, but it's not just about throwing robo-advisors and bots at it, right? The problems of these high net worth individuals are just too complex, right? And the human element is too important. So we need to make sure that digital is enabling this human advisory element. So enter us, enter Topaz. We're providing firms with an aggregated platform of all their data and an online engagement layer for multi-advisor interaction. We're creating solutions for all of the different touch points for the client, for the engagement on wealth, on web and mobile. And you can have one app or you can have multiple. It's your brand, it's your insights, it's your 360 views of your clients and the clients themselves, and it's your advisors in control. And the beauty is that Topaz has been built from the ground up as a platform, as a client experience platform, super flexible. And we've got this visual library where we can rapidly create new experiences. And of course, we can easily and quickly integrate existing systems, new systems, and partners. So we have a secure platform, an open platform. We've got these beautiful apps, white labeled, completely tailored, and we've got the client right at the center. So with Topaz, we're bringing that client experience into the digital age. With Topaz, now digital wealth is working. So we're Topaz, and would love to hook up with you guys later and talk about wealth and clients. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miles. Our second startup from the UK, also in InsurTech, Dave O'Connor's from Distribind.
Really happy to be here. If you're paying attention, you will notice that today is the launch of our new logo, so that's why the other slide was different. So Distribind is a digital data exchange that is curing the insurance industry of its addiction to the spreadsheet. Most insurance policies are not sold by the company that will ultimately bear the risk of paying the claim. This is because it's sold through brokers or it's sold through agents, or insurance companies protect themselves by buying reinsurance. In all these circumstances, they will have to tell the company who is going to be bearing the risk what policies have been sold, what premiums are going to be paid, what claims there are. Over 95% of that data is currently reported by spreadsheets. The philosopher Marshall McLuhan said that the human race is the sex organ of the machine world, and it often feels like the insurance industry is the sex organ of Microsoft Excel. This is a systemic risk to the industry. Insurers can have a policy on their books for over 6 weeks before they even know about it. It can take them about 15 weeks to actually receive a premium payment. And it's hugely costly, this manual effort. It adds about 30% of their back office costs is absorbed in unnecessary manual processes. And I don't know, I might not be allowed to talk about Amazon and Google, but if you've ever bought a technology product off Amazon and they'll suggest you want to add insurance, or you buy a holiday and they will bundle in the travel insurance. This is called embedded insurance, and it's forecast to be worth over $1 trillion within the next few years. And this only works with efficient data exchange. Insurers who still reliant on spreadsheets will be locked out of that kind of market. Distribution can be thought of as like a Zapier for insurance reporting. We just receive data in any format, whether that's real-time API, yes, spreadsheets, XML, PDF. We take the data, automatically ingest it. We eliminate over 99% of the current digital processes. And one of the companies that we work with took their time pre-processing spreadsheets from 45 minutes down to 0. This also is a light touch model that gives great oversight and huge data visibility. One of our clients is targeting significant premium growth using the platform without having associated headcount increase or BPO outsource costs. It's a very experienced and knowledgeable team that we have. I've worked in the insurance industry myself for over 20 years. I've unfortunately dealt with these spreadsheets. Everyone in the team has similar experience in insurance or technology. We're working with a number of companies across the value chain, from large global insurers right the way down to the agents, on multiple use cases, eliminating spreadsheets completely from some value chains. We're post-revenue with a very strong pipeline and being selling both directly and also through channel partners in the US and Europe. If you're here as an investor today and you like what you hear, we'd love to talk to you. We're currently raising. If you're here from an insurance company, we'd love to talk to you about how we can help. Charlie, Scott, and I are all here today, so if you're in the room, we'd love to talk to you. Thank you for listening. I'm Dave. We're Distribind, and we're curing the insurance industry of its spreadsheet addiction. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Our next startup is from the beautiful part of Switzerland, from the French part. He's fighting against 4 paperless office. Stefan from Admin.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stefan, and I'm the founder of Admin, the easiest input manager and document organizer for SMEs, routing all inbound mail to the right place automatically. And the reason we do this is because we've all been through this situation where we feel overwhelmed with documents, whether digital in our inboxes or disorganized drives, or with papers that we're still, and yes, it's a reality, received by post and still need to handle that way. Then we need to know what we need to do with the documents. Has this offer been sent out? Is this invoice validated? Is this quote accepted or not? Of course, then the last thing is, when the documents or even our physical archives are not well maintained, then finding back information is not only time-consuming, frustrating, but brings a lot of frustration too. So we built Admin. It's an API-first, software as a service, essentially turning all these repetitive, low-value, manual tasks into automated, enjoyable experiences. Our app is available cross-platform, and it's cheap, fast, and super easy to use. The way it works is we help you snap any physical paper that you may still have with a mobile scan, but also a PDF inbox that you can use from the printer scanner in the office, for example, or share with your clients, partners, or providers. Then we can also connect with different apps, your most used apps, to fetch documents and centralize them in Admin. Why? Because we then smart scan the document, essentially extracting all the data, all the values that you need to make better decisions faster. And the way it works is we then automate classification. And classification is not only about folders. Classification is about knowing what your document contains and making the right decision, including assigning the document to the right person, for example. Then, of course, the last stuff is managing your documents. You need to make sure to be up to date. So we essentially gather all the documents that still require your attention to make sure that you don't pass something out. And you've probably guessed it, we can then push the information back to other systems. Think of an invoice that's been validated by 4 persons. 4 minutes later, it's not only sent to the accounting system, but probably also paid by the bank account. It's an exciting time for us. We have our first clients, and we also recently launched project with larger companies, allowing us to acquire clients at scale and solve problems, improving customer relationship, and not only turning those companies only paperless. Our team is based out of Lausanne. We're backed by an amazing team of advisors, first clients, partner, and supportive organization. So if that resonates, we're looking for new partners, and we're currently raising. Please, again, my name is Stefan, and if that resonates, join us in our mission to help SMEs take the easiest step toward the paperless office. Thank you.
Stefan, I have to say I am impressed. Obviously, I have seen all these startups at the very beginning when they came in, and congratulations to all of you. Well done. Seems to help to be in F10. Really, I have to say, I'm impressed really well. So now we will have a 5 to maximum 10 minutes break. It's not gonna be a get a lot of water and take a beer or something. We'll have that later. But for those who need to take the opportunity to get a bio break real quick, please do that. Otherwise, just chat to your neighbor and find out what they liked most. See you in 5 to 7. Everyone, I know it's exciting and so much to talk about. I love to see that obviously there seems to be a lot to talk about. Great stuff, and I hope we can all take the time afterwards that all these discussions can continue. I'm very sorry to break it short at this time already. We come now to a break, so you don't have to quick fire 3 minutes pitches, but you get some time, and we get some time to dive into a very important topic for Switzerland, as open wealth will be having a lot of impact on the finance industry in the years to come. And obviously Switzerland, with a very strong wealth management background and a big wealth management industry, this will have a big impact. It's my great pleasure to introduce you to Urs Bolt, who will run or moderate the panel and introduce the speakers afterwards. For those who don't know Urs yet, he has extensive background in wealth management, knows everything around WealthTech, and if you want to find out more, find him on Twitter. He does regularly updates that are interesting and inspiring. Urs, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mark. I'm happy to moderate the panel tonight and welcome my guests here on stage. First is Gökçe Phillips. Gökçe is the CEO, co-founder of CryptoIndexSeries, based in London and in Ankara. Ankara in Turkey as well. CryptoIndexSeries is institutional grade, AI-driven data trading and portfolio analytics for crypto markets, startup, and already for how many years?
3.5 now.
3.5 years. Is also an alumni of the F10 accelerator batch, I think 2 years ago?
Last batch, actually.
Last batch. Okay, cool. Welcome on stage. Thanks, Gökçe.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And next on stage is Simon Alioth. Simon. Simon is the co-inventor and co-founder of the Open Wealth API standard and also the vice president of the Open Wealth Association, which was founded here in Switzerland about 2.5 years ago.
Actually, last year.
Last year.
Yeah, 1.5 years ago.
Well, I just remember when we had some talks, so my memory is going back further. And of course, he's also a managing director of Synpulse 8, which was just recently founded, technology powerhouse and part of the Synpulse group, right?
Exactly.
Welcome, Simon. Next on stage is Mike Hofmann. Mike is almost an industry veteran in the banking industry, having worked in New York, Switzerland, and also Hong Kong, right? And he is at SIX and drives B-Link forward already for 2 years. And B-Link is the open finance hub. Obviously now more finance than not just banking. Thanks for being on stage. He's also, by the way, also board member of the Open Wealth Association here in Switzerland. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Then next on stage is Stefan Klauser. Stefan is the CEO of Aisot Technologies. I hope I pronounced that properly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And that's a next generation AI for asset management providers. He is the co-founder, CEO, and is also an F10 alumni. So we have 2 startups. We have actually even third. It's also a startup, Synpulse 8, right, Simon? To say so?
Yes, it's a venture within an established company. Yeah.
Very cool. And Mike from, let's say, an established service provider owned by the Swiss finance industry. Cool. Great to have you here. So we're going to talk about today is open wealth and how will it change the finance industry. So my first question is going to Simon, as you have been the co-inventor of the Open Wealth API standard. I would like to know how did that develop and how did it get to that the Open Wealth standard is pioneering an interface standard in the space of the wealth management industry globally.
Yes, yeah, thanks, Urs. Yeah, you mentioned 2.5 years before. Yeah, that's when we had a mandate at St. Galler Kantonalbank, and out of this mandate, the idea of Open Wealth API and also building a community around the Open Wealth API standard was born. Since then, we had a lot of interest in the market. And banks and WealthTechs and service providers have joined. That's also the reason why we have formalized that in an association, which we have founded last year in February. Now, Open Wealth is, it's a relevant industry association with 9 banks, around 40 WealthTechs, and service providers which are member of the Open Wealth Association, including 6, with the goal to define, maintain, and distribute the Open Wealth APIs on a global level. And I think, we are very successful. I mean, 2 banks are live with the Open Wealth APIs. The first, we have great discussions, especially in Singapore and Hong Kong, and there are activities actually to form an Asian chapter of the Open Wealth Association. There is even a bank in Indonesia which is starting to implement the Open Wealth APIs without joining the Open Wealth Association, but that's...
So it's open source, you can use the standard for anyone. That's a very good message, I think, to the whole audience, not just here in the room, also online. Thanks.
Exactly, and in Switzerland, the first banks are live with the use case to connect financial intermediaries, but Open Wealth APIs are defined to be use case agnostic, meaning that the banks are really enabled to do banking as a service also for private clients.
Mm-hmm. So what are the drivers right now? Is it more demand driven from the independent asset manager, external asset managers as we call it? So these are these independent wealth advisors often and asset managers, or do you see more from the bank side?
you know, both actually. It's a win-win solution because you know, the connectivity to external asset managers is usually it's a proprietary interface and needs a lot of manual work on both sides. So first of all, and I think this is also a great driver behind the Open Wealth API standard, that it's an OpEx case for banks because it reduces dramatically manual work in order to partner with external asset managers.
So Mike, this is maybe a question to you. I mean, you serve primarily the banks, right, with the B-Link up, but also third-party providers. What's your take on the current state and the future state of the Open Wealth API, and how do you provide services and create an open ecosystem?
Yes, I think the Open Wealth APIs is a great opportunity for the banks, and especially for Switzerland, where it actually started. I mean, we have the first two banks who have adopted the Open Wealth APIs to connect with the portfolio management systems, which is in use with the external asset managers. And they used B-Link actually to operationalize it. And B-Link, the SIX platform, is actually kind of like a startup within a big corporation. Really wants to help in this, let's say, market-driven approach. That there's no regulation of opening up, as for example in the EU, to actually help banks to connect easily with WealthTechs. And the Open Wealth APIs are just one type of APIs, which is actually, if you look at the PSD2 world with access to accounts and payments, these are new APIs that have been developed under a market-driven approach, not regulation. And I think now we're starting, you know, with the use case that is, you know, that has been around for years, you know, connecting with external asset managers. But I think with Open Wealth APIs, actually the sky is the limit, because you're providing access through these APIs of like everything around wealth management. So it's not just access to accounts or the payments, but it's really the whole like universe of wealth management, which gives limitless, unlimited opportunities, especially for WealthTechs. And now, of course, there's actually the fear of banks. When I open up, I will lose the customer interface. And I think this is like, in general, with the whole open finance movement, you know, do I want that? And that's why regulation probably pushed that, where in Switzerland there's no regulation. So they're still kind of hidden, but I believe we will go there eventually anyways. The world will be open, data will be around and available. And I think, you know, the opportunity to start now, and especially in Switzerland, could be huge, especially for Switzerland being such a wealth management country. And this could attract a lot of, you know, innovative startups.
Thank you, Mike. So why do you believe that we can take the lead here worldwide? I mean, with your experience at B-Link, but also Simon. And how do you see that? I mean, it's very encouraging to hear it, and very positive, of course, you're opening an Asia chapter. But do you think this could also help to rejuvenate, in a way, the Swiss financial center when it comes to wealth management, private banking?
I mean, this is, let's say, a huge bet, of course, because you're opening up data to the outside world. Of course, it's regulated, it's not just opening up, it's secure and safe and with the consent and everything. But I think this is a huge opportunity, and banks or the Swiss financial market should really have a good look at it and you know, start analyzing or assessing the potential of being a first mover in this, potentially in this area, because we are a wealth management country. We are the largest, and so we should really have a look at it and make sure that when the world, and we all believe that the world is moving to open data, open finance, that we want to be at the forefront again, and hopefully, you know, be faster than the competitors or other countries.
Gökçe, do you have a view from London, which is basically financial center #1 for hundreds of years? Depending from where you look at, New York would probably say something else. But how do you see that?
Perhaps I can first try to, if you allow me, to see it from crypto world, how open wealth looks. So when you look at it technically, Open Wealth has got 3 main APIs, right? So you've got KYC AML, which is looking after customer management for you. And then you've got the custody services. So, if someone is collecting transactions on your behalf, or perhaps a provider, or from your bank. And then the third one is order execution. So these 3 are also relevant for crypto ecosystem. You can talk about the KYC AML, you can talk about order execution, you can talk about transaction collection and custody services. And I'd like to add to that, you can also talk about data feed, because now you need, valuation of your portfolio. And then you can also talk about portfolio API. So, you can take the same concept, lift and shift, and, possibly apply it to crypto world. So, I'm hoping that maybe next year, this time, we're going to be talking about the Open Crypto Wealth branch, and that may again be growing from Switzerland. And I think the benefit of having that is, especially for institutions, we already see a challenge there, because the institutions are big, their risk threshold is, you don't want to talk about it. Whereas for the startups, they're agile, they want to take risks, they're in fact ready to try out new things. And therefore, this kind of common protocols, establishing the common ground between institutions and startups, would hopefully make it easier for institutions to adapt this new technology.
So that leads me also to say we are leading in, obviously, blockchain, DLT regulation worldwide. So that seems to be like a winning combination.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Just to say a couple of things about the UK as well, because that's where it started. So I've got a couple of slides to share with you. If I don't have, well, there you go. So in April 2022, very late really compared to this, to Switzerland, the UK government announced that we'd like to become a crypto hub. And anybody in the room might say Zug has been a crypto hub for a while. And so following that announcement, the FCA, Financial Conduct Authority in the UK, actually implemented certain crypto sprints by, academics, institutions, startups were all involved in those crypto sprints to say what are the next focus areas. And so there are, regulatory standards is one, issuance and disclosure of crypto assets, custody, regulatory services, and so on. But the current stand at the moment is that you may need to register with FCA if you're a crypto exchange or a custody. Otherwise, there is really not much compliance or registration that you need to be going through. So there's certainly movement, I'd say, positive on the positive front. No talks about government here. But yes, in the crypto front, there we see positive moves. And to the following slide, in terms of why we startups do think that Switzerland is actually a good hub or a good pilot place, really, for any crypto fintech startup. So I digged some data for you. I looked at the population of these 4 countries you've seen, and I did search on finance, fintech, crypto, wealth tech countries as startups who have received investment in these 4 countries. Now, by looking at the population, Switzerland 8.6, and there are 700 startups in Switzerland who received investment. It's actually quite high number. When you look at the sort of population startup numbers. And, and in addition to that, if you see the assets under management in Switzerland, that actually shows the sheer volume of existing financial activity. So all this established trust in Switzerland is making it such a good place for us startups and the WealthTech startups specifically to come here and try out our services and test scalability. And plus, you know, the lady from Canton was here, so it really shows the forward regulations in the country. So absolutely, Switzerland looks like the right place.
Thanks a lot, Gökçe. That's a very great testimony for F10, but also for our ecosystem and environment here. So Stefan, I would like to ask, how do you see that? You know, we have, obviously also we want to understand with corporate sponsors, how you collaborate with them. What's your experience as a startup entrepreneur with leading edge technology, and how do you make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I would not even say it's an opportunity that we have now, it's a necessity. Because if you look at how the asset management industry changes at light speed and getting more and more complex, and then also wealth management even adds another layer of complexity, we need to be fast. And in that respect, I mean, for us, we can, as an AI provider, and it's going to need AI at scale to kind of cope with all the personalization and customization that the clients want in the asset management industry, starting off now, ESG integration, crypto, portfolios that are thematic or not. It needs AI, and not every bank can go and build their own AI team. It's not possible. And then how do you connect? We can either go and kind of connect one customer after the other. We can start to go to the data providers and connect data streams from one to the other, get ESG data there, this data here. But if we can do that in an open environment with a standardized way of doing so through an API, we're going to be much faster creating our solutions. But also our customers that need to innovate, if they already realize it or not, but they need to have a next generation asset management system. And if this lowers the bar a bit to work with not only the external asset managers through the PMS systems, but also the bigger banks, the regional banks, everybody, if that helps to kind of lower the bar a bit for them to work with startups, that's my hope. This is going to change the industry for the good.
Thank you, Stefan. So what is, beside technical challenges, I think everyone understands that here in the room and in the online audience. What other challenges do you have to overcome now in your current work together with established and incumbent firms?
I mean, first of all, the entry hurdle is very high, right? Usually there's not much to win for people working in big corporates if they collaborate with startups. It's rather seen as a challenge or something dangerous to do. So it needs a bit of a mind shift there. And then also there is a lot of compliance involved usually, and there's lengthy processes. So it easily takes a year or more to onboard a larger company. For a startup, that's ages. Right? And if you really want to be the innovative place where the next generation wealth and asset management is taking place, we have to change that. So it's mostly these things. Often corporates are interested, they invite you, they listen to you, and then things are getting really slow. And this is something that if we have a standardized API, if we get that stamp from 6B Link that they have looked at our technology, it's bulletproof, and the services that we have are good. And then if we can have the companies on the other side playing around a bit with our things, we can lower the bars also in terms of pricing through such an environment. And I think that can really help. So it's not even that there is so big challenges that we couldn't overcome, but I guess it needs a little bit of a mind shift on the side of the corporates.
So cultural change as well, and then obviously together with the right platform like B-Link, Mike, how can you help that to make it faster at the end? Because for startups, every month counts often.
This is what we're looking like, or we're aiming for. It's really about joining our B-Link platform, and this is, I think, it's unique. It's, I think, not something similar is out there, especially not even in the PSD2 country. But it's really like we want to build this ecosystem of service providers, banks that are using standardized APIs, like for example the Open Wealth APIs, and on the other side, the service user or API consumers, like a startup, FinTech, a WealthTech, they have to join our platform as well, and we before when they want to join us, we do a full due diligence of the company, the application. We have a contract, a standardized contracting, so it makes it really scalable to come to the platform and work with the other side, so with the service provider. And so for like a fintech, if they join our platform, they only have to go through it once on our side, and they don't have to go through it on with every bank they want to exchange data. And I think this is really like why we are in business. So we really believe in the system. And also, and I think this is the first thing, as you mentioned, to come together. The other one is, for a bank, is actually to use these APIs for multiple use cases, not just for a use case connecting with external asset managers, but also for all types of really innovative startups. Actually, we also have a few from F10 that would be perfect service users, exchanging data, and actually they could be, totally different. You never thought about this type of integration, and this we could really help with the standardized, and especially the standardized due diligence process to connect easily, and also actually for a bank just to try out something. Try out, and if it doesn't work, you stop it. But with the APIs, it's easier to integrate.
Thank you. Simon, question, when you go international, or let's say Asia, obviously, in focus, what are then, let's say, these hubs like B-Link? Does that also work in Singapore, or you have other partners to make that happen? Or elsewhere in London, for instance, or Latin America?
In Singapore or Hong Kong, there is not a hub like 6B-Link. We see there the trend that banks want to expose the APIs themselves. There are also quite a number of banks which already do that for other use cases. One of the really innovative banks in that space is DBS, for instance, which has a huge developer portal and supporting actually startups. But maybe there is the need to do that. Maybe we as Synpulse provide something like that. Could be a case. I think the hubs like B-Link can facilitate it for banks and startups, but just from an open wealth perspective, it is platform agnostic, of course, and banks have the choice also to expose the APIs themselves without having it through an API platform.
So how do you see the cycle in terms of establishing open banking, open finance, but also open wealth standards, compared to Switzerland, where we have a market-driven approach and have a regulatory-driven approach in the EU with PSD2, which is only on account and payment based. I'm not sure whether this will be expanded soon into securities, etc.
Yes, we are in close contact and collaboration with the Berlin Group. There are plans also in Europe to go from open banking towards open finance, and also securities are in scope. There is in Israel, actually, there is the first country with a regulatory need to implement the securities API until I think end of 2024. Here, we from the Open Wealth Association make sure, ideally, Israel and the Berlin Group will take over our API, but the concept of access to account is a bit different, and they want to be really close to that concept of PSD2 with pro and cons. The idea is that both API worlds and standards are compatible, interoperable. That's the goal which we have. We also are actually in close alignment with SWIFT. SWIFT is also going towards API, and they have as well a central platform, the SWIFT platform, which they move now to APIs. This is probably more than in the institutional space a use case, but also there we are in close collaboration, so that the security with the wealth management world in terms of APIs is aligned globally.
Thank you. So Gökçe, when will you use the API standards from the Open Wealth Association?
How about we create open crypto wealth APIs together with the Open Wealth Association? So I think as CryptoIndexSeries, that will be one of the initiatives we'd like to partner.
You are welcome to join the community, and actually to add on that, we have started a working group in order to bring digital assets to the Open Wealth standard.
Oh, lovely. So, you know which company would like to be involved. So there you go.
Very good, very good. Yeah. And what about you, Stefan? Are you already planning to apply the API standards?
We actually are already participating in B-Link, so we're currently speaking to 6 around what the use case is. And we plan to start kind of hooking up to the system later this year. So we're one of these, I think, 3 or 4 companies that were selected in the wealth part of B-Link to have the first use cases. And I think it's really exciting for us, because I think for the whole ecosystem to have access to state-of-the-art machine learning technology through such a system is just really an advantage that Switzerland could have.
I think that's a great note to the end, because we're already running out of time. And I encourage, obviously, everyone here to also follow what's going on with the Open Wealth Association and try to apply the standards, because everyone who will support it and apply it will help to grow the ecosystem, not just in Switzerland, but also worldwide. Thank you all to the panelists. Have a great evening, and see you again in the next, at the drinks later on after the next pitches.
Thanks, Urs.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Urs and panelists. We will have a small thank you, and one is open, so everyone gets a glimpse of what it is. It's actually a floaty rocket. Thank you very much. Cool. You get the open one, Urs, that's why you go first.
What happened to the hoodies?
What happened? Gökçe, thank you so much. Always great to see you again in Zurich. Simon, thanks a lot for being a part and driving every day the Open Wealth. And then we have Mike. Thanks a lot for being an amazing partner and also having the F10 startups linking up. That's super cool to hear. And Stefan, not last, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I would need a few hands to help me with the desks and glasses here. While we do that, maybe we just reiterate real quick what we have heard. I think for me, generally, it's an opportunity/necessity, right? So it will actually really happen. We have everything in Switzerland to get it done, to bring open wealth in Switzerland at the forefront and to be a leader and continue to dominate also globally in the wealth management space. And I think what we also realized is that it's happening. It's still not fast enough, but we are starting to see progress on that side. With that, I will obviously go into the next part of tonight, which is back to Meli, and we'll have the last sessions on the startup pitches.
Yes. Thank you. Of our startups. The next one is from the UK, very emotional founder. Ireland, sorry, excusez-moi. I go. Come on, Darren. Darren from Modus Free.
You didn't even click either, Melly. So, hi everyone, I'm Darren Douglas, founder and CEO of Modus 3. And our main focus is to remove regulatory noise with a Google for regulation. So has anyone here used MSN as a search engine? Quick show of hands. Interesting. How about Yahoo? What do both of those search engines have in common? Yeah, they do suck, and they are noisy. So what does Google do? It says, hi, what do you want to know? I'll go find it for you. It's simple, right? So now let's look at the current regulatory environment. So I'm sure everybody has LinkedIn, and they're attached to LinkedIn groups. I myself am attached to this AML group. So when I go in there, I am there to check for regulatory updates, what's going on, and to talk to professionals. But again, what do most people now do in these groups? They post absolute nonsense. So I don't use it anymore. I don't have anything I can use. So let's take FINMA. Everyone will be familiar with it in the room. And if FINMA's here, I apologize. So I go into FINMA and I say, hey, I want to look at AML. So then they say, search our document repository. And it brings back 130 odd documents. Then it says, enjoy, go find what you need. Happy days. So then if you take every other regulatory body, they're all the same. Everyone's set up this way. So what are we proposing? So we're going to build, or not build, sorry, we're launching the first Google for regulation. So a regulatory search engine that indexes those PDF documents and makes it easy and searchable for you. That's what Google does with websites. We're doing it with those PDF documents. Oh, doesn't want to work. Ah, cool. So yes, we have clients. Yes, we are generating revenue. We are also heavily supported. And as part of the master classes, after 5 months of them, thank you, we finally realized we were an actual Google for regulation. So thank you, F10. So why are we here today? Very, very simple. We're here to work with partners or investors. We have kept the company bootstrapped to a particular point. We really wanted to prove out what it was that we were working on. But now we're ready to scale and to move quickly. So whether you're a partner or whether you're an investor, we want to talk to both. My name's Darren. The company's Modest Tree. Come chat to me afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Darren. Now to our youngest startup, Bora from Truly. Stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bora, and it's my pleasure to present Truly to you guys, your net zero partner. So I don't think there's any doubt in this room that sustainable businesses are not a trend, they are the future. But if you look under the hood, you will see measuring your impact as a business is hard and it's costly. If you want to reduce your emissions, what you'll end up usually doing is chasing ineffective and suboptimal strategies to do so. Finally, when you want to show all your hard work and report your progress, it's often so manual and complex that no one even looks at it in the end. And yet, 40% of the largest companies in the world have net zero targets today. Almost 12,000 companies have committed to decarbonization today. The technology is clearly lagging behind, but we need the solution today. At Truly, we can help you set your path to net zero. And by the way, that does not say tomorrow. And the way we do this is quite straightforward. We take we connect APIs and we do document uploading of your supplier data, inventory information, ERP systems, and more. Integrate it into the Truly platform, which then helps you track your plan to net zero, monitor and analyze your improvements, reduce using effective strategies, and finally report it in a more captivating way than you could manually. Let us do the heavy lifting in the back end, and you enjoy all things sustainability in a simple, easy to use and understand software. Among our core team, which is made up of Moritz and Alec, in addition to myself, we have 2 previous founders, as well as 2 people that have worked in the financial institutions and seen how important the solutions are, and they are not yet being solved the way they should be. So what we're doing right now is talking to businesses for client proposals, and we are simultaneously building out our carbon accounting software. In the future, in a month's time, we hope to close our first proof of concept and do third-party integrations. But first, before I finish, let me talk about what we've done during F10. So we've built a beta app. We had 50 users on the beta waitlist, on the beta testing, as well as 3,500 on the waitlist. And we developed all these partnerships in order to design our product. But here's the crazy thing. This was for a completely different product. This was consumer-facing. In fact, in the last week, we shifted our focus to businesses because it was much more impactful. So if this is what we have achieved in a week, imagine what we could do with you over a longer-term collaboration. So let me end it at that. If you want to get your company to net zero today, let's talk.
Our next startup is a blockchain startup. We were able to attract a startup from the US, Logan from Clarity.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? Nice. My name is Logan, and I'm the co-founder of Clarity, a simple DAO management platform. So with a show of hands, how many people understand what a DAO is? Okay, pretty good, pretty good. So it's an entity with no central leadership. So decisions in this type of organization get made from the bottom up. And they're governed by a group of people or community that are organized around a specific set of rules enforced by computer code on a blockchain. So in other words, what that means is it's a new type of organization where shareholders have access to create and vote on proposals in order to spend company funds and make company decisions. And all of these processes are verified on a globally transparent ledger, which some people would call blockchain. Somewhat alluded to by my question, and they're early on the adoption curve. Not many people have heard of DAOs. They haven't really creeped into the real world yet. They're an evolving and emerging technology. But look at what they've done in the last 18 months. The total value locked in DAOs has gone from 645 million to 7.7 billion. The active governance token holders involved in DAOs has gone from 13,000 to 3.7 million. And the number of DAOs that exist has skyrocketed from 40 to almost 5,000. So the problem that Clarity has identified and the problem that we are solving is that to build a DAO on one of the most prominent blockchains, the Cardano blockchain, costs about $300,000 of development expenses. And we have identified over 100 projects, organizations, and startups that are looking for a cheaper solution so that they can put their operations on chain and operate as a decentralized organization. So what Clarity does is it lets anyone create a DAO with custom governance rules, create proposals, and vote on and execute these proposals with a click of a button and for a fraction of the cost. So why are we building on Cardano? The first reason is we see a huge opportunity to be a first mover, as DAO tooling does not yet exist in this blockchain ecosystem. And secondly, we have a technical advantage. Our engineers have built many of the biggest decentralized apps on Cardano and are experts in the functional programming language needed to build high-assurance smart contracts on this blockchain. And lastly, we're community and ecosystem funded. We've been awarded $110,000 from the Cardano ecosystem as a nod of approval saying, hey, what you guys are building is really useful to the ecosystem, and we're gonna give you cash so you guys can bring it to market. The next generation of companies will operate as DAOs. And this is because of their ability to push power to the edges so that every shareholder in a company can have a transparent view and transparent influence on the decision that this organization makes. But bigger than this, DAOs are able to, for the first time in human history, DAOs are able to put an organization's operations on a globally transparent ledger, and that has never been possible before blockchain technology. Right now, we are looking for a $190,000 investment to complete our pre-seed round so we can ensure that we have the runway to bring this revolutionary technology to market. Happy to chat with you after. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Logan. Our next startup is from Switzerland. It's a FinTech startup in gaming. Boris from CowLevel. Thank you, Boris.
Hello. Is anybody of you playing computer games online or have been playing computer games? Can you raise your hands, please? Ah, okay, I see a few of the 3 billion games are in here as well. And does anybody of you have kids who play online computer games? Okay, I understand. Thank you very much again, and a warm welcome. My name is Urs Bolt. I'm founder and CEO of the Kaulevel AG. We are FinTech and gaming. And we built FIPME. It is an exchange for virtual in-game items out of computer games. So what are these in-game items? In-game items are used in the virtual worlds, could be racing cards, armor or weapons, trading cards or in-game currencies, which the people need to fulfill their hobby. The virtual worlds developed a lot in the last 20 years, with hundreds of millions of people attending them regularly, exchanging their virtual items as we are trading goods on eBay or Ricardo. Can you imagine? Every minute, about 150,000 US dollar worth of in-game items are changing hands worldwide. The market is actually already bigger as a yogurt market, yummy, and bigger as a sneakers market. Surprisingly, there are a lot of problems for all the stakeholders. The gamers get frauded, there's no transparency, was it the correct price? And the game studios do not have access to the secondary market at all. That's a pity. So the game studios do not have access to the secondary market at all. The financial markets are missing out completely on this gigantic swarm whales. We call it new commodity. We didn't invent the wheel again. Exchanges are one of the most proven business cases. We just spotted this existing 80 billion US dollar market without an exchange and built one. Our system is ready to host 5 million customers, 200,000 of them simultaneously. This is actually quite a lot. Our revenue is generated by commission on turnover. There are 3 billion gamers out there, half of them paying regularly for their passion. It is absolutely no question that an exchange is coming to the gaming universe, which is bigger than music and Hollywood combined, solving the problem of intransparency and fraud. My co-founder Stefan and me, we have decades of experience in financial high-volume electronic trading, and I spent more than 60,000 hours in the virtual worlds, which is quite a lot as well, started trading the in-game items in the year 2005. Being exchange people, we have compliantly onshore tokenized our share in Switzerland, and we are picked by the Berner Kantonalbank to be their first emittent on their newly built exchange place SMEX. We would like you to contact us if you want to support us. Thank you very much. Invest, partner up, or list the items of your computer game if you are a studio or publisher. Or if you just want to have more detailed information. 3 minutes are a little short. We're looking forward. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Boris. Our next startup is coming from Canada, and I hope you're prepared. Arshad from Rivi.
All right, thank you, everybody. I know we're close to drinks and food, so I'll make my 3 minutes quicker than 3 minutes if I can. So 2 years ago, the world closed down. And just as we thought things were getting better, we started seeing signs of a war. And then that drove the markets down, and now we're experiencing inflation at a rapid rate. It's no wonder our people are stressed, mentally and financially. Did you know that half of the population around the world are living paycheck to paycheck? And our workers there's $1 trillion that's locked every day in wages that cannot be accessed. These workers are looking to their employers for help to get through these unprecedented times. Meanwhile, businesses are living through the great resignation, having a hard time finding and attracting talent. At Rivi, our mission is to empower these businesses to help their employees live better lives. We do this by taking away the friction around payroll so that people can get paid faster. And then we give those people the tools to better manage their money, to reduce their debt, and to improve their savings. This is a $40 billion market globally, and the financial wellness component is growing at 15% per year. We make money by charging a SaaS subscription for processing payroll, but we do see other opportunities for curated financial wellness tools for employees down the road. There are payroll companies that exist in the world, as well as this new breed of what we call earned wage lenders. But we differentiate with our model of flexible payroll and our focus on curated financial wellness. We are going to market targeting small businesses, which will allow us to get some traction as well as cash flow as we continue to build out our platform, ultimately focused on large multinational enterprises. Myself and my partner Alex have over 30 years of experience helping large organizations better manage and pay their people. Together, we are Rivi, and we are reinventing the way people get paid. Again, my name is Arshad. We are focused on helping people through our model of flexible payroll, and we call this Payroll with Purpose. I invite you to come and chat with me later if you're interested in helping make the world a better place. Thank you.
Now to our last pitch. F10 from Switzerland, Julian Osborne.
Hi everyone, my name is Julian Osborne. I have the honor of presenting the last pitch. So can I get every one of you for 5 seconds to take a deep breath in and clap for 5 seconds and I'll count down and give me a smile. Okay, breathe in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you also to all the great startups performing before me. Anyway, so we're from F10 and we unlock your sustainability potential. So what does that mean? If you look at the regulatory landscape, which is also maybe not the most exciting, 50,000 companies across the European Union will be forced to disclose sustainability measures. If you include the reporting that is required for all of the growing ESG investment and the demand from consumers, buyers, as well as employees, this number is a lot bigger. And there's a massive headache around data management for it. This is what we are solving with F10. We are building a platform that starts with the requirements that a company needs to report. So the requirements define what kind of reporting templates you need to submit. These reports consist of data indicators, for example, greenhouse gas emissions, and we help with the data management. And the cool thing is, the way that we do it is not only manual and CSV uploads, but we also provide APIs. And with all the data in one place, and with these APIs, what we really want to create, and this is what you should remember, is a marketplace that connects different providers of sustainability solutions to the data that the company collects. So this could be emission calculators around CO2, but this is also water or biodiversity. And that differentiates us from our competition because we cover all 3 ESG topics and not, for example, just carbon. Also, we have an integration approach, not a standalone business solution. So kind of talking about the open API topic, or continuing the conversation on the OpenAI topic earlier. I had the luck to already work a couple of years with my cool team, who are all here today. For example, with Fred and Paula at LPA, a German cap tech that bought the startup I was working for previously. And I think it shows in the track record. So we've not only in the last 10 months since inception finished our prototype, signed a couple of clients, including 6 just now. We also were awarded top 2 early stage FinTech last week. And going forward, our main goal for this year is to get ready for seed investment. So call number 1 if you're an investor interested in seed investment. And call number 2 is for corporate partners. Our goal is to get to 5 corporate partners by the end of the year. And a little favor, we are just short of 1,000 followers on LinkedIn. So before you start applauding, take a picture and vote for us on LinkedIn. Oh, follow us on LinkedIn. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much, Julian. If you thought being the last startup to go on stage is tough, imagine coming up on stage now. But I want to really take a few minutes to bridge before we get to the nice apro, make sure everyone in the back can prepare, and give them a nice heads up as well. So if you want to know more about the startups or want to get in touch with them, these are 2 QR codes. I hope they work from the distance, else I'm sure we will share them later as well in the follow-up communication. But basically you can get all the one-pagers from all the startups, read up, get the details, and contact details as well. Or you can directly on the right ask to be connected, and then we'll facilitate the connection. I would also want to quickly touch on all the partners that we have the pleasure and honor to work with to bring the 2 parties together, bring the startups that we have seen today, bring them in front of open innovation departments within big corporations like SIX, obviously, Julius Baer, but also Generali Hitz, Raiffeisen, SDX, R3, Hewlett-Packard, TX Ventures, Microsoft with the Microsoft for Startups program, Dorsum, PwC, 5T, Synpulse, United FinTech, and OnPoint. Thank you very much for being a part of it. Oh, I'm already darked, sorry. No, we have 2 more slides. To make this possible, I would like to ask the amazing team on stage quickly, everyone who is here and has an F10 connection, please come up. I see Thibaut, Magdalena, Lucas, I see Andy, Meli, obviously, Alex, Joel, Michel, please come on stage. Thank you very much for all the hard work you're putting in. It's a great honor and big pleasure to do that. And I think I just received before, which made me smile, a quick text which said, I'm so proud of my startups. And this really makes my day and makes my week. Thanks a lot, everyone. We teach startups when we do the pitch training always to not end without the call to action. Our call to action tonight would be, if you are working in a big company and think there should be a little bit more innovation, maybe speaking together with startups, working with startups, or just joining inspiring events, approach us, approach any one of us. If you are an investor, also sign up on our homepage, /investors, f10.global/investors. There is the opportunity to be invited to the investor nights and to be a part of it. If you are just seasoned or have a lot of experience in an area that is relevant for startups, join us as well, sign up as a mentor and support the ecosystem. And obviously, if you are having this brilliant idea, but it's just not yet ready to go and bring to life, join us. There is always an open call open, and just sign up, talk to our existing startups to get to know a little bit more what's behind the 5 months of work. And this would be my call to action. Thank you very much for making it tonight. Online, thank you very much. There is one last thing before we go, but we will go off stage here, and we'll then start with the apro in a second. Let's go. Join F10 in the Metaverse.
Get your F10 NFT now.